Anyway, welcome back to the 9th episode of the Flexin Nerd podcast.
We're almost in the double digits.
Double digits. Can you imagine we were going to get here?
I mean, I knew in my heart that
eventually, right?
We were capable of it.
Okay, so we got a nice episode for you this week. Obviously, we're going to start with corrections. We got a couple big ones, so I'm rather embarrassed.
We're not perfect, though.
Do you remember... And now I want to stress by saying this is a sports/anime video game podcast, okay? We're not historians, okay?
Yeah, we're just people, you know.
You remember last week we were talking about the Nike ad with Colin Kaepernick and the flag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember who we said made the first American flag?
Anna Betty Ross?
Yeah. In the episode we say Betty Ford.
No.
Yeah, I thought we called it Betty Ford the whole time. And
With
it is
full confidence.
It is Betsy Ross.
Betsy Ross. Just full confidence.
My mom said my grandma went on a walk and was listening to the podcast and came back crying because she was laughing so hard.
We were saying Betty Ford
with Betty Ford.
Full confidence.
Or Betsy Ford the whole time.
We all know it's Betsy Ford.
Yeah.
She created the jalopy.
Yeah. Actually, Betty Ford did do some famous stuff. My mom texted me and said Betty Ford did these things.
Betty Ford is a real person?
Betty Ford is a real person.
Right.
She just had nothing to do with
at
the
least
American
we didn't
flag.
just make a person out of thin air.
Okay, so the next correction is you were right. You were almost right on the lady who played the all-seeing whatever in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
It's not Tilda Swinton. It's Tilda Swinton.
Swinton. All right.
So you were really close.
All right. I knew it was Tilda because you had to think. I was like, I knew it was a weird name.
Yeah.
She's a good actress, though.
We were also arguing because you said DK Metcalf was drafted in the 3rd round. DK Metcalf was round 2, pick for 64. Which would be 32 plus 32 is...
64.
Okay,
so he was the last pick of the 2nd round. You were right.
I know I was right.
Still, though, San Francisco could have traded up.
But
I'm not letting it go.
I'm not saying let it go. I'm just saying...
DK Metcalf's whole careers could have been... You should have been a San Francisco 49er.
But why? Then he'd have a shitty quarterback.
I know you're not talking about over here, Mitch.
All right. Anyway, we'll talk about quarterbacks. We got a lot of shit to go over. Okay. The other thing I wanted to say is, I want to correct is we were talking about how perfect Robert Downey Jr. was to play Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said Tony Stark was cast as Iron Man.
but I mean, he was.
But he wasn't because Tony Stark is Iron Man.
Yeah, but the real life Tony Stark.
It sounded really dumb when I listened back to it.
It's impressive that one role brought him back, though.
Yeah,
because his career was pretty much
done.
Done, and then Marvel gave him one last chance. I have heard that M. Night Shyamalan is in contact with Marvel.
No,
I hope not.
No, I hope not.
What's the twist? That your movie's going to be good? No, that's
that was good.
That'd be the only good twist.
So the other thing we were talking about the guy who hit a bunch of home runs in the Negro Leagues.
Yeah.
His name is Josh Gibson.
Thank you.
On the wiki it said he hit somewhere between 800 and 1,000 home runs. They didn't have any number, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I told you it was insane.
Yeah.
But again, because he played in that era, he played in the Negro Leagues that nobody ever talks about him.
Yeah. So, hey, Josh Gibson, we think about you, okay?
But at least Hank Aaron's on the top, though. So it's not some big fat white guy
named Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
He has a candy bar.
George Herman.
Who's that?
George Herman Babe Ruth. That's his real name. George.
Don't know.
Herman.
Anyway, so
Herman
the last
hit 715 home runs.
The last correction I need to make is I was talking shit about Jimmy Garoppolo not staying healthy.
Jimmy G.
When he was first traded to the 49ers, he played 5 games straight and they went 5-0.
Yeah.
You still picked second in the draft, but whatever.
But yeah, we waited too long to...
I'm just saying, I apologize for saying he's never played more than 5 games in a row.
Thank you. Speaking of which, are you done with corrections?
Yeah, corrections are over.
So, I finally got down to why Anthony Davis has that injury-prone thing. It's because he was just on a team where everyone always got hurt. So I think since he was the face of the franchise that always got hurt, I think maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's where it came from.
But Jimmy Garoppolo has been injury-prone in a way. He started in New England, got hurt.
I'm talking about Anthony Davis.
I know, but I'm saying, I thought you were trying to relate it to Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, I'm just saying that reminded me of the whole, remember we were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Why he's injury-prone?
Injury-prone. I think that's why, because he was just the face of a franchise that's like all that they ever did was get hurt. All the help he got.
Yeah, whatever you're trying to say didn't work.
I was trying to speak a different language.
They call that tongues.
Yeah, apparently.
So I've got an interesting.
With the Holy Ghost.
I've got a fun fact this week.
Here we go.
So for the first time in NBA history, every team in the NBA averaged over 100 points per game.
Do you think that's going to be the new trend?
Probably.
I think because just like scoring is more of the focus now, especially when you've got teams that literally go to the free throw line like 30 times a game.
But realistically, the lowest percentage, whatever I'm trying to say, was Memphis. They averaged 103 points per game. And the highest was Milwaukee. They averaged 118. So it's not like a giant difference.
Yeah, but still, though, I remember when games were literally... The highest, I think, in Jordan's era had to have been like 93, maybe. That's a 10-point swing just to the lowest team this year.
Okay, so that's a fun statistic, right? Like, oh, it's a fun little... But statistics can lie and say things. Like, have you ever heard that? Yeah. Okay, so here's one for you. So somebody posted on Instagram.
Here we go.
Fun fact. Tom Brady has made it to the Super Bowl 52% of the seasons he's been a starting quarterback. Steph Curry's career three-point average is 43%. Tom Brady is more likely to make it to a Super Bowl than Steph Curry is to make a three. No, the fuck he's not. Because if you put it into perspective, Tom Brady's been in the NFL for 20 years. Right. Going into his 20th season or whatever, right?
Right, yeah.
So he's, one out of every... he makes it once in a while, right?
No, but it feels like it's every year
right,
now.
But Steph Curry has attempted 5,693s. So he's had 5,000 chances to miss or make a three. Yeah. And Tom Brady's had 20.
One's not comparable to the other.
Right, like that's the dumbest. You're just trying to make Tom Brady sound
saying
good.
Like, oh, Shaq's a better three-point shooter than Ben Simmons because I've actually seen that comparison, by the way. But yeah, but Shaq doesn't shoot threes.
And neither, but it's just...
You know what I mean? Like
you're skewing it. And it made me angry. It made me Twitter or freaking Instagram Tom Brady fan. Okay, so Are we jumping into the shit that Skip Bayless says? We're going to talk about the bullshit.
So before we do that, have you heard the comments about LeBron with the Sports Illustrated?
The GM?
Yeah.
I did.
I have the quotes. You want to talk about them?
Please, give the people the quotes.
So David Griffin, if you don't know, was the GM when LeBron came back to Cleveland before they won the inevitable title. And he left after they won the title.
The next year, yeah.
Yeah, and Sports Illustrated interviewed him. They were talking about him in general.
They were talking about they were actually asking him about the Pelicans.
And of course, when you're tied to LeBron James,
they're going to ask you questions.
You have to be
100%.
So one of the like several kind of like quotes, but the first one that I got was LeBron is getting all the credit and none of the blame, and that's not fun for people. They don't like being a part of that world.
So would you like me to stop right there?
No. We'll overarch it because I feel like reading the interview, I do kind of feel like they picked and chose some of the comments that he said.
Did you hear his interview after?
No.
Okay.
But I literally pulled this off of SportsIllustrated.com.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, I'm saying, and then then they asked him about what it was like building. He said everything we did was inorganic and unsustainable, and frankly not fun. I was miserable. Literally, the moment that we won the championship, I knew I was going to leave. There was no way I was going to stay for any amount of money.
Yes.
And then he said after we won the title, they're talking about LeBron's win ethic. Work ethic, I guess it would be a better way
will
to say that.
To win.
Yeah, said there wasn't a lot else for him. Talking about in Cleveland,
right?
Like he kind of came back and did the damn thing. Said I don't think he's the same animal about winning anymore. That's the last
okay.
little.
So we'll start with that last point. He said he doesn't think he's an animal about winning anymore.
No. The same animal. Like there's the one he was when he first got to Cleveland. I think he means.
So what about Game 1 in the finals?
Here's my thing. I don't really like that he said that because his play on the court doesn't reflect what you just said.
Exactly. Thank you.
Because like you say that all you want to, but you don't remember what it was like. Just because you were gone, like I know another one that he said. I'm gonna get this wrong, so I'm not phrasing it. But essentially, he's saying like during his time in Cleveland, when he was playing or when he was GMing with LeBron, he said that they had an open dialogue, blah blah blah. But he said that the whole time he was so focused on winning that he lost the love of basketball and all that. So essentially what you're saying is
you don't want to win.
You can't handle the pressure of having a player like. LeBron James on your team. So how do you think all the GMs felt with a player like Kobe Bryant?
Michael Jordan.
Like, shut up. You're not the first one that's ever dealt with a upper echelon type player. So the fact that you're going to sit here and shit on a guy who, by the way, got you a championship ring.
Like, think about it though. If LeBron doesn't come back to Cleveland, he doesn't get this job. Like, he doesn't have the success and the merit. I'm not saying he's a bad GM, but Cleveland is not going to win without LeBron. It's just a fact.
Yeah, you wouldn't have that pressure to keep trading and getting
the
pieces.
recognition. So
I do see from a standpoint what he's saying, because what Cleveland was doing while he was there, he is correct that it was not sustainable.
Is not sustainable.
No, because
and
they kept
organic.
trading all their picks. They're doing all this, and they're trying to get all these pieces.
They're building
to fit
win
around
now
him.
pieces.
Yeah, and I understand that, because with LeBron, especially now that he's over the age of 30, you got a ticking clock. You don't know how much longer he's going to be able to play, especially since he's been in the league since he was high school. So yeah, I feel like the interview was good in that it kind of gives you an insight of what the front office was going through, but at the same time, I feel like it's a lot of poor me.
Well, so what he came out after he did that interview, and it was put out, and his quotes were taken just like that.
Because I know LeBron's camp didn't take too kindly to what.
No.
If you Google it, you have to sift through until you actually find the article itself.
Right.
Because a lot of it's just like LeBron reacting. I didn't read into what LeBron reacted. But.
What David Griffin came out and he said, look. The first thing he said was those were taken out of context.
Yep.
They asked me questions about my situation with the Pelicans, and I was comparing it to Cleveland. I wasn't bad-mouthing Cleveland. He said, when I was saying I was miserable and I wasn't coming back, it was just the media scrutiny, which is, again, poor me. Stop complaining. You're winning titles, right?
You're in the NBA Finals.
And so I agree with that. The other thing, what was this other quote about LeBron? He said, it was inorganic and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, right, because you went from a team that wasn't doing anything to a team that has the best chance to win the NBA Finals. Yeah. So of course you're. It's not obvious. You can't build a team that way forever.
No.
But when you get a player like LeBron, you have to give it up and go for the win.
I think what he meant was he wants to do what they're doing in New Orleans now
and Golden State.
He wants to build from the bottom up.
Right.
But the problem with that is when you insert a player like LeBron James, it's not a normal situation.
You gave that climb rocket boosters.
Yeah.
So.
It's literally like Sonic when he
yes,
yeah,
he hits the turbo and he's just gone, right? So what I understand wanting to build, and as a GM, building is the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what you want to do, yeah.
But it's not realistic. When you have a player like LeBron, you can't just say, "Well, LeBron will get it next year." No. Your goal is to win now.
You're not paying that man. Yeah, you're not paying that man to win later. You're paying
so
him to win now.
He came out and backpedaled a little bit on some of that stuff, I that was actually one of my topics for this week too. So. He backpedaled a little bit, and he was like, "Look, I'm still cool with LeBron. We still have a relationship. I don't know if you do."
He did say he kept an open dialogue the whole time.
Yeah,
with
he
LeBron.
did. LeBron
said you have to be firm with LeBron, and all I said was, "You mean the next owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers?" Is that what you just said?
Right, because LeBron's he's been talking about wanting to own an NBA team since. When he retires, he wants to own an NBA team, and so if the stories are true and Nike actually is paying him $1 billion, he can afford Cleveland with just his Nike contract.
Definitely think that's what happens, right? Like, or if he just goes to Nike and like, look, I want to buy the Cavs, and they're like, all right, we'll go in with you, and we'll. But I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that because I know what kind of LeBron fan you are, and if a GM came out like that about Kobe. I'd figure you'd want to do the same thing.
I was definitely like...
But when I saw that, I was like, all right, we need to talk about this. I don't know. I didn't really... I knew that they took that out of context just by the way the interview was. Because it started and they were talking about him with the Pelicans and all that. And then, boom, all of a sudden, all this him just trash-talking the whole LeBron era. Yep. And I was like, this feels... The only thing that felt inorganic was the interview. That makes sense. They probably set him up to make him look like an asshole.
Well, I mean, it's controversy, and there's no bigger drawing star power in media than LeBron, which we have a lot more LeBron topics coming up, by the way. But LeBron did respond to that.
Yeah, that's what the part I didn't.
So he said, he just tweeted. He said, all right, enough is enough. The throne has been played with too much, and I ain't for horseplay. Ether is coming. And he put a bunch of fire emojis in the crowd. What I want more than anything is a pissed off LeBron James.
Yep.
I want him to come in with people calling him weak and calling him a quitter and
over the hill.
He can't do it anymore. And okay, keep tugging on Superman's cape. I'm telling you,
the best hope you can have is he comes out with that I have something to prove mentality.
Because
there's nothing worse than somebody that literally doesn't have anything to prove.
Right.
That feels that they have something to prove. Because then he's just going to go out there and ball out. Plus, if LA is smart, they're literally going to let him run the show, which I know they already said they're going to.
Yeah.
But say you're going to and actually letting it happen, he could literally be the second coming of Magic Johnson.
I can't wait.
Name another player that could literally get you the disadvantage at point guard, like height wise,
right?
But not put you at a disadvantage on the, you know what I mean, in every other aspect. He's not slow.
No,
he can shoot.
But people say, I want him to be hearing Skip Bayless talk on repeat in his headphones when he's in the gym.
The only thing about this whole LeBron situation is if he wins one title, just one, you got to retire his jersey, right?
With the Lakers?
Yeah.
Nah.
I think you do. Just because he played for you. Didn't the Wizards retire Jordan's number?
No. I think the only people who have Jordan's number retire are the Bulls and the Heat.
Which is weird to me.
The greatest of all time.
I know.
They thought everybody
should
should
retire 23 then across the board.
I don't know. We'll see. But
I just wanted to talk about that interview because I wanted to get your take on that.
So I got a cup. Do I want to just go straight to bullshit Skip Bayless is?
Probably.
It's gonna take a minute. All right, so I got other topics, but okay.
This is the meat of the episode.
This is the freaking meat. This might be the potatoes too, folks. Hold on to your pants.
Oh, jeez.
Skip Bayless was on one this week, and I am here to talk about it. Okay, so bullshit Skip Bayless says this week.
Yeah.
Starts off with Aaron Rodgers. He said...
Oh, wait. I think I know what you're gonna say.
Do you?
Yeah. He said he would take Dak Prescott over Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, bad, damn near. But he said Aaron Rodgers is not a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Name 5 better then. Did he name 5 better?
No.
Well,
he
shut up.
He just said Aaron Rodgers he's not he's just
Is he an asshole? Absolutely.
But here's the thing with Aaron Rodgers not a top 5 quarterback. He said he definitely said he would take Tom Brady over him. No, you wouldn't.
Tom Brady now?
Yes,
no,
right now.
Absolutely not.
He says Tom Brady
mid 20s, early 30s. Tom Brady, sure.
Let's skip to Tom Brady right now. This dude said, where is it?
You know, when he retires, he is going to be the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yep.
Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
People already say he is.
Yeah, but I don't care. He said Tom Brady... So the NFL put out their 100 best players list.
He's 6-3, right?
Yeah. So he put out 6-2?
6-3, Doug.
Yeah, because he lost the Eagles. He put out...
To Nick Foles.
So the NFL players, 1,100 NFL players, vote on the top 100 NFL players. They do this every year, okay?
Yep.
Skip Bayless said that Aaron Donald shouldn't be number 1 because he can't remember any highlight plays Aaron Donald made when they went in their playoff run. He's like, what did Aaron Donald do? I can remember Tom Brady's plays. I know some throws he made, especially when the game mattered, going 5 for 5 on the last drive to score the only touchdown in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady had a 26 QBR.
Wow, I didn't know that.
26. Here's one for you, Mr. Skip Bayless. Who did the Cowboys lose to in the playoffs? It was the Rams, I think. And Zeke, the best running back in the NFL, had 47 rushing yards against Aaron Donald's defensive line. Tell me more about how you don't remember Aaron Donald. You chose to forget that game, didn't you, Skip? Fucking Skippy Bayless, I swear to God.
First of all, he's a grown man that goes by Skip. So, really, I don't really know why we expect anything great from him.
He said Dak Prescott had the second greatest rookie season of all time.
Second to who?
RG3.
Alright. You don't remember when Cam went out there and just murdered it?
And then the next year, Andrew Luck did the same thing.
Whatever, man. Alright.
Bruh! Skip, what are you doing? Okay, listen. I've got a list, folks.
I'm excited.
Here's the next one.
Anytime I get to talk shit about Skip Bayless, is a good day
he said Anthony Davis is going to be Kevin Love in LeBron James' system.
How do you figure?
How do you think? Okay,
Kevin Love. Okay, look,
was the third option.
Let's just look at this from a logistical standpoint, right?
Logistics.
So Kevin Love, wrong Kevin. Kevin Love was never known as a defensive player.
Never.
Actually, before he even got there, he was known to be a defensive liability.
Correct.
Anthony Davis is like top 3
defensive players.
Especially at the rim.
Oh my God.
I mean, and then.
So Kevin Love is like...
Anthony Davis is a better scorer?
Anthony Davis is like, if you gave Kevin Love steroids and put him on a rack and stretched him out.
I think if you gave him that Michael Jordan's...
The secret sauce? Yeah, you remember Space Jam.
Yeah.
The secret stuff.
Yeah, secret stuff.
Like, seriously, I don't understand where he comes up with that. Because the only people who have been sequestered or put up to the side...
Sequestered.
Yeah, you like that?
That's a good word.
Was the third option.
Yo, he was never the second option. The only time he was the second option is if Kyrie was hurt. Or after Kyrie left.
And Anthony Davis is going to probably get more shot attempts. I bet Anthony Davis averages more points. Well, maybe. Because if LeBron comes out with that anger...
That we were just talking about.
Yeah,
but even then, though, he still might... He realized Anthony Davis is younger. Plus, he's got Boogie. Like, he's got to distribute the ball.
Like,
this is the most weapons that he's ever had, arguably, on the court at the same time.
Sure.
I mean, even more than when he was playing with the Heat, because Dwayne Wade wasn't going to torch him.
And they didn't have they didn't have a ton of shooters. They had a couple here and there, but
Ray Allen and a couple point guards here and there.
Mike Miller and John Jones.
John Jones was playing.
Yeah,
he's got a
it
couple rings.
It was a tall black guy.
Why can I see his face, but I can't think of his name?
It's something Jones, right?
James Jones.
Because
it was a basic ass name. But yeah, go ahead.
So the next thing is, Skip Bayless says his favorite thing about Zion is that he exudes youthfulness and he's excited about basketball and he just loves life. But in that same segment, we'll talk shit about LeBron James for his Taco Tuesday videos.
Okay, but I talk shit about those Taco Tuesdays.
But what I'm saying is...
You were a grown man singing the tacos.
You can't compliment somebody for being youthful and exuberant, and then...
Speaking of Zion, what about that contract he just got? 5 years, $90 million?
From Jordan Brand.
Listen,
don't interrupt on bullshit.
Sorry, I just remember he just got money.
He got all of it, dog.
All of it.
You know he turned down $18 million a year from Puma and $15 million a year from a Chinese shoe company?
Dude, let me get those, or let me be a part of Jordan Brand.
But it's just Nike. It's just off-brand Nike.
Oh, it's Jordan. Jordan's not Nike.
Also, yeah, I love Jordan shoes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, some of them. But what I'm saying is, he was shit talking LeBron, or he shit talks LeBron for being a child, and he calls him immature. But then Zion can be youthful, exuberant, and you're okay with that.
Yeah, literally fitting your narrative when you want someone to fit your narrative.
And so we're gonna get on a much larger LeBron topic right now. As a matter of fact, we'll come back to bullshit Skip Bayless says because I got a lot of it. But I want to ask you, what do you feel about LeBron's? Did you see his antics at his kids' game?
Yeah, he was getting excited about his kid playing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you have a problem with it?
Here's my thing. You know what I didn't see? I didn't see superstar LeBron James watching his son play. I saw a father watching his son play basketball. For sure. And I saw him get excited. That's all I saw. I didn't see LeBron James and LeBron James Jr. I saw a dad watching his son tear it up and get excited about it. And I have no problem at all with what he did.
So, I've been thinking about this all week because somebody going to an AAU game can be newsworthy for a fucking week. Pardon my language.
No,
but here's my thing.
It was
Marcellus Wiley. I can't remember his name, but one of the guys he does a ESPN show, and Skip Bayless, and people are ripping LeBron apart.
They hate it. Yeah, they hate it.
Somebody said LeBron James' addictiveness to
the limelight
and attention is equal to cocaine.
What?
Yeah, he said LeBron seeks out attention so much he's addicted to it like a crackhead is to cocaine or crack. Like that is okay. So I don't know how I would react, but here's my thing. LeBron, the only thing I have a little bit of a problem with was he actually was on the court.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah,
that's the only thing.
Because if it's not LeBron James, that's not allowed to happen.
I will give you this. There are what is it? Something to the rule.
Exceptions to the rule?
Yeah, LeBron James is the exception to that rule. Whether you think there should be or not, if there's going to be one, it's going to be him.
There's always the exception to the rule.
And here's the thing.
And this was upper echelons.
So what happened was his kid threw a between-the-legs alley-oop to a teammate. The other team called timeout, and LeBron literally ran on the court and was chest-bumping the kids and high-fiving. He got so excited he lost his shoe, right? That's the only part I have a problem with. Don't go on the field of play even during a timeout. Unless you're like the coach, don't do that.
If you're affiliated with the team, that's one thing.
And I don't know if he is, but I do know he spends a lot of time with those kids. And those kids come out and are like, guys, like, we like this. Like, we like spending time with him. He talks to us. He builds us up. He encourages us. So my only hesitation I have is A, he was on the court and he shouldn't have been. But B, does his kid care? If LeBron James Jr. doesn't care, and he's like, nah, Dad, wow, I don't care. Like, if he's okay with it, that's cool. But, like, for me personally, when I was playing sports, I was like, listen, I play for the team. You don't cheer for me, you cheer for the whole team. And if Bronny is like that, then LeBron needs to stop. Because it's not good for the kid. But if Bronny's like, nah, Dad, wow, I love it. It makes me excited too. Then there's no problem with it. And Skip was ripping him up because in the layup line, LeBron James threw down a dunk. And it was a really cool... He got up.
I didn't really like that, though.
Okay, but here's my thing. All right? So you're surrounded by 11, 12-year-old kids. And the 12-year-old kids... LeBron's probably sitting...
They're probably goating on him,
right?
yeah.
And he's like, hey... Come on, throw it down. Like, it's their championship game. What is going to get you more hype than seeing LeBron James 3 feet from you jump 10 feet in the air and dunk it like a monster?
You're right.
Like,
if that's the case, sure. But if he just hopped in there on his own volition...
But it's not the first time he's done it. And that's why I think they like it.
They ask him to do it?
Because if you know your dad's still balling and the kid's like, hey, Brian, come on, throw it down real quick. Please. Like, nothing gets us more excited.
Dad, can you please get that little kid look in your eye?
Yeah, like... In my opinion, he wasn't doing it to get attention. I would assume the kids were probably egging him on.
People that hate LeBron are going to hate no matter what he does. The passion that he shows for his son playing basketball, the passion he shows, I love it.
And now Chris Broussard had an interesting take. He was like, I don't want to hear this. At least he's there for his kid, and a lot of dads aren't. Because that sets a bad... it's an easy way out.
Easy way out.
Because you should all be there. Excuse me. You should all be there for your kids.
Right, yeah.
But I keep going back to, but he's there. I'm now granted.
This isn't like a me or you,
right?
Where we get off our factory jobs and we go out here and we go see our kids play basketball. This is an international superstar. He cannot go anywhere,
right,
without being recognized.
Well, and he left the filming of his movie to go watch his kid play an AAU game, and he goes to Missouri. His daughter plays soccer, and like. I bet he acts the same way there. Now, he's probably not kicking goals, but I bet he's dapping her up on the sidelines and cheering and being the same person because that's who he is. That's that youthful exuberance I was talking about. So I love it. The only thing is he shouldn't have been on the court. If he's in the layup line before the game, and Skip was like, well, would you see Tom Brady hopping in and throwing passes to the kids before a high school game? Do you know how awesome that would be?
Maybe.
Like, if Tom Brady's kid is like, hey, Dad, the guys want you to throw a couple routes. I assume it's because he's, like, on the sidelines probably. Because Tom Brady's that high up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, hell yeah. Do you know how hype I would get if Tom Brady threw me a pass before a game?
But again, though, it's literally just Skip doesn't like LeBron.
Yeah, I know.
So he's just going to look for any other reason to complain and bitch about it. That's what people like Skip do. They just look for little things. Realistically... If anybody has a problem with what LeBron's doing, it's literally because you have a problem with LeBron.
They said he was doing it just for attention to himself.
No, whatever. I don't agree. I think that's all I like. The one where Bronny stole the ball and went up and dunked it,
and he's
LeBron
on the
sideline getting hype. That wasn't LeBron James getting hype.
No, that was
his dad getting hype for his son making a spectacular basketball play.
Right.
I don't see these as LeBron James doing them. I see them as a happy dad.
Exactly. And that's all it should be.
That's what it should be. But you're taking it to this nth degree because you want to make LeBron this villain when it's literally, I think it is split down the world though, 50-50.
It is. A lot of people were really hating on him for it. Look, LeBron, do you, man. Cheer for your kids and only if he's cool with it. If Bronny's like, if him and his dad have had a conversation and LeBron and Junior doesn't care.
Well, let's do this for an instance. You kind of hinted at earlier. You played football in high school.
Yeah.
If your mom was on the sidelines and the only person she was cheering for is you'd get upset with that.
For me, yeah, like I play for the team,
right? Yeah,
and that's me. But
so if he's like that, you know. But then again, though, I don't know. That would be hype to me. Second greatest player of all time.
So look, I scored a touchdown. I've scored 2 my entire high school career. Okay, so
2 more than me.
So the one was pretty special, at least to me. And so it was a big play. The whole crowd's cheering, but still they respected my wishes and cheered for the whole team. They didn't just say my name or that's my son. None of that. They cheered for the whole team, and that's what I wanted. Because I've always felt that way. You should cheer for the team. Now, granted, as a fan, it's a little different, but for your own family, you know what I mean? So I respect that. But at the same time, if Bronny is cool with it, let him breathe LeBron. Let him wild out.
I don't see a problem with it. I think, again, last time I'll say it, I think it's literally just people having a problem
with LeBron. With
anything that LeBron does. And especially Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless needs to shut the hell up anyway. But let's keep talking.
Let's keep talking about the bullshit he said.
Yeah.
So here's the next thing he said. He says
Here we go.
He says he was right about Andrew Luck not being a great quarterback. And he knew that RG3 was going to be the best quarterback. His comparison was, he knew RG3 was going to be the best quarterback from that class taken.
So where's RG3 right now?
He's the backup for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And Andrew Luck is on a playoff team.
Still the starter of the Colts. You're right, but he's the best one.
He said he went on this whole tangent of how Andrew Luck isn't that good, and he's just
What's his proof? Because he was hurt for what, like 2 years?
Yeah. I don't know, dog. And then to follow it up with, I knew RG3 was going to be the best quarterback in that draft class for one season.
RG3 had a great
rookie year.
One good year.
One.
And then what did he do the year after that?
Nothing.
He got hurt, right?
No, he got hurt at the end of the rookie year.
And then
they played him in the playoff game, and he got hurt again, and he missed a bunch of games the next year.
And then what did he do after that?
Yeah, he got hurt.
He went to Cleveland?
That was like the fourth year or something.
But he got hurt?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm saying is...
But Andrew Luck is injury prone.
Yeah,
and RG3 is better than him.
But
RG3 has played significantly less games since they've both been in the league.
Right. And also, Andrew Luck's been to the playoffs. He went to the AFC Championship game his third year in the NFL.
Yeah, and if Tom Brady wasn't deflating balls...
Oh, shut up. I don't like Tom Brady, but get out of the way of deflating.
I don't know. That's
stupid.
That's such a stupid thing to...
Football is a little flatter than normal. It means they can catch it easier. Dog, you lost by 30.
Right, yeah. It would have been one thing if it would have been like a touchdown.
Like a one-handed Odell Beckham catch that Julian Edelman made.
You could clearly see that he squeezes the shit out of the ball and brings it down.
Fine. And also, at a certain point, if the balls are too flat, it doesn't do you any good anyway. So
you ever thrown a flat football? It doesn't go anywhere.
Anyway, so moving on, like we were talking about, the NFL Top 100 came out.
I don't like that DeForest Buckner wasn't in the Top 100.
Shut up.
He had 15 sacks last year.
Oh, well, it's voted on by the players, and the players didn't think he was very good.
Well, does Tom Brady get a vote?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
1,100 NFL players.
So what happens? So how does the vote go about?
They get they get a ballot, and they fill out the ballot.
They have to handwrite 100
They probably
names?
circle a bunch of names.
Yeah, that's probably...
It's like an I-step test.
Ew.
Anyway, like we were talking about, their top 100 came out.
For those of you that aren't from Indiana, I-STEP is standardized testing in Indiana.
Okay, so there are 15 quarterbacks in the top 100.
Okay.
We'll start there. First of all, Dak Prescott is not in the list.
For top 15?
He's not in the top 100, and he's also not in the top 15 quarterbacks who are in the top 100.
I'd put him in the top 15.
I would put him in the top 15 because Kirk Cousins made the top 15. Oh my God. So, therefore...
He's the most overrated quarterback in the league.
He is 13.
He was
the 13th quarterback
on
the
Jimmy
list.
Garoppolo are
Jimmy Garoppolo didn't make the list.
No, I'm saying...
Which is fine.
If I'm making a top... And that's my quarterback. But at the top of the list...
Have you seen him play?
You want to go there?
Hey.
Remember when you lost in the playoffs because you couldn't score a touchdown?
Nick Foles was playing, though. And Magic...
Crickets.
Hey, okay. So anyway, their list came out.
Crickets.
Listen to me.
All
okay?
Right, I'm listening.
Top 100 players.
I'm listening.
15 quarterbacks. There are some quarterbacks that didn't make it, obviously, because there's 32 starting quarterbacks. Yeah. These are the quarterbacks he said should have made the list.
I'm listening.
Derek Carr.
Wrong.
Jameis Winston.
Wrong.
Andy Dalton.
Wrong.
Matt Stafford.
Wrong.
Joe Flacco.
Wrong.
Nick Foles should have been on the list.
Wrong.
What?
Okay, so Nick Foles had a brilliant playoff, and he played really well in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him worthy of being on. Plus,
when was the last time he was a real starting quarterback for more than 3 or 4 games?
He's always been a fill-in guy.
Yeah.
Except for when he was in LA when he was with the Rams.
They are the LA Rams now.
But at the time they weren't.
No, they were St. Louis. Okay, so here's my thing. None of those quarterbacks are any good.
No, Jameis Winston is a cusp player.
His thing is that the quarterback is the most important position. His exact words were, the top 20 players on that list should be quarterbacks. Just because you play quarterback does not mean that you are the best player even on your team.
You can get by. Yeah, that's what he's saying. That they're the most important. So that means he thinks that on the 2000 Ravens, the most important person on that team was that quarterback. Can you even name that quarterback?
Yeah, Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Dilfer's dimes.
Yeah.
That's why I remember it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless makes me so angry.
I'll take it a year later. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. When they won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Do you remember?
No, he played for the Raiders.
The Raiders.
You know Jeff Garcia?
No. You think keep going. Anybody out there know who the quarterback was when the Bucs won the Super Bowl? 2000 was it 2002?
2002. Damn it. Was it?
You're not gonna get it because no one in their right mind knows.
Was it Chris? No, Chris.
Brad Johnson.
Damn it.
Huh?
He's the most important player on the team.
No, he's not.
He plays quarterback.
No, literally, quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong. A good quarterback can make or break a team, but you do not need an upper echelon quarterback if you have a Hall of Fame type defense.
Like maybe one of the best defenses of all time. Okay, so the other thing in that same vein of talking about the
that'll always be my big argument about
talking about the top 100 list and the top 15. He was saying Dak Prescott. Remember we talked about that tier list either last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay, he said Dak Prescott should be a tier 1 quarterback because listen to his qualifier though. He said because once he got a real bona fide number 1 wide receiver, they went 8-1 and he put up great stats.
I'll give it to him. He did do that.
Okay. Listen to the definition of a tier 1 quarterback. Their definition of a tier 1 quarterback is a quarterback that can carry his team each week. The team wins because of him, and he expertly handles pure passing situations.
Right.
That means you elevate your wide receivers.
Like an Aaron Rodgers, maybe?
Right. Or like a Tom Brady, who's never had anybody except Randy Moss.
Right.
Or in his later years, Gronk and stuff. But what I'm saying is, you don't get that tier 1 wide receiver to make you better. The receiver made Dak better, not the other way around.
Exactly.
So, Skip, you disqualified your own self in your fucking statement.
You literally contradicted your...
I apologize for the yelling, but God, he makes me so angry.
No, it's right, because you literally, you say one thing, and then you contradict yourself in the same sentence.
Dog, he didn't even take a breath before saying it. He should be a tier 1 quarterback because once he got the best wide receiver...
Let's look at it like this. Let's go one of the all-time greatest quarterbacks of all time. We'll go Peyton Manning.
Peyton
Manning is a good quarterback.
Yes.
Arguably the greatest regular season quarterback of all time.
Correct.
So he had a good set of wide receivers in Indy.
Pretty decent.
Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. Would Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne be as good as they are if they'd had Curtis Painter throwing them passes all the time?
Very good callback, by the way. But no.
That's a tier 1 quarterback.
Right. Hey, tell me more about Jordy Nelson.
Randall Cobb, Greg Jennings.
Right.
All these guys that they had. Look at Brett Favre. Brett Favre, the best receiver he ever had was Donald Driver.
Right. Like, come on, Donald Driver.
Is Donald Driver making the Hall of Fame? No. But because if you're a good quarterback, you make it's essential. It's the same thing as basketball.
Right.
You make the people around you better.
Exactly. And Dak, I'm not saying he's, again, not a terrible quarterback. He's a top 15 quarterback in my opinion because Kirk Cousins shouldn't be there. But here's the thing.
I would argue, I think Dak Prescott's probably like top 10. Like 10.
No.
You wouldn't put him at 10?
You put him above Cam Newton?
Yeah. Hands down. Yep.
Cam Newton won an MVP.
Cam Newton gargled it in the Super Bowl.
That's fine. He won an MVP and went to a Super Bowl. Dak Prescott hasn't got out of the second round.
Well, you know what? That's because America's team.
Listen, here's the thing.
In huge
so,
quotes.
how about this? Skip says he should be tier 1 because he has to get a superstar wide receiver. The tier Dak Prescott was in reads, a tier 3 quarterback is a legitimate starter, but needs a heavier running game and or great defense to win. A lower volume passing offense makes his job easier. He had probably the best up-and-coming defense in the NFL and Ezekiel Elliott.
Since he's been in the league, he's had elite running backs, right?
Running back. He was drafted in the same class as Zeke.
Was he?
Right.
Okay,
so what I'm saying is, Skip, that's the definition of your quarterback is tier 3.
So since you've been in the league, you've had nothing but a good running game. The biggest problem with Dallas, you could say, is their defense. But they're working on that.
No. Not anymore. Dog, that defense is busted, man.
No, I'm saying, but like...
In the last few
like, Tony
years,
Romo never had a defense.
No, never.
Not one time.
But Dak Prescott, starting last season, they have probably a top 5 defense, in my opinion.
At least top 10.
I mean, Vander Esch and Jalen Smith at linebackers are disgusting.
I am glad, and you know how I feel about Notre Dame, but I am glad that Jalen made the turnaround.
Yep.
I am glad.
I played against him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was he scary?
No. He played he played offense and defense. He played running back and linebacker.
Was it scary?
No. We knew he was going to Notre Dame then, but He wasn't.
You just wanted to beat him. I mean, I had that competitor in you.
Definitely wanted to win. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but you didn't,
he
though,
wasn't
did ya?
that. He was an okay running back. He didn't do anything crazy at running back. I didn't see a lot of.
He's probably just big, right?
Right. I mean, for a high school, yeah. And I didn't see a whole lot of him on defense, mostly because I was on the sidelines during that game. I was doing a lot of watching. I did have my only tackle in high school ever in that game, though.
Was it on Jalen?
No, I wish though.
That would have been dope.
That would have been crazy.
I would never not talk about that.
I would tweet him every day.
But hey, you remember that time I tackled you in high school?
He'd be like, no, I don't remember you.
You know why? Because I'm in the NFL making tackles.
It was so weird, right? So the guy, I filled in for the guy who was hurt, and it was a kickoff. We had just scored. We were kicking off. I was on the gunner all the way. So how do I say this? We're kicking, right? And I was all the way on the left.
Okay.
And they kicked the ball down, and I'm running. And while I'm running down the field, I say to myself, so there's a big pile. I was like, he's going to spin out of the pile. You're going to have to be ready for that. And before I even got there, I'm still running. And there's a big pile forming. The kick returner comes outside. If I don't make the tackle, he scores a touchdown. Literally, it's
touchdown saving.
Bro, dog, I hit him so hard. It was awesome. I double leg wrapped him up, drove him into the ground. It was so cool. Only tackle in my career.
You had one more tackle than me.
Stop it. You're depressing everybody.
Sorry. I played freshman year, and I never played.
That's okay.
You know why? This is why. Because I wasn't one of those kids that would follow the coach around. So, yeah, I wasn't one of those kids that would follow the coach around. Plus, it was freshman year, so, all the good athletes played both ways.
Right. Well, and I didn't like the whole follow the coach around either. The only time I actually had to do that was the only reason I did that was that's how they would call plays. Coach would tell us to run what play we were going to run. We would go tell the quarterback what play we were going to run.
Yeah, I did that in 6th grade.
So, well, then that was my junior year. My senior year, we got play cards.
No, I'm just saying I did that. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
That was my
my
athletic peak was in 6th grade. I hit a game-winning bucket in the city tournament, and I caught a touchdown to send us to the extra point, send us to the championship.
The only time I caught a game-winning touchdown was we were in overtime of the first game of the flag football playoffs.
Yeah, mine was
so
flag
essentially
football.
the NFC championship game. I caught the game-winning touchdown pass.
I
was on the outside, right, and I ran a whip route.
Okay.
Ran inside, busted back to the outside, was standing wide open. Touchdown is great. I didn't do anything in the championship game. But anyway, that's beside the point. Bullshit, Skip Bayless says.
Yeah.
We're still not done with that, by the way, because we talked about Aaron Donald. Okay, so I guess we're done. Nope, I lied. He said throughout his career, he's almost always been right. Now, I know that was probably hyperbole, but I still had to stop the video and laugh.
When has he ever been right?
That's what dog. I watched a 25-minute video of him being wrong.
Most of the things he says are opinions.
Right.
So you can't go off of that.
Right,
because if you think you're right, you think you're right.
He still thinks Andrew Luck is the worst quarterback to come out of that class. Like, what the...
Meanwhile, the guy you're comparing him to is buried in the Ravens depth chart.
Okay, so...
At one point, he was the 3rd quarterback in that depth chart.
Yeah.
And the only reason he's 2nd now is because they traded Joe Flacco.
So here's the thing. I've got a couple bonus additions to bullshit Skip Bayless says. These are just bullshit other people said. Pro Football Focus is back in the news for me.
No, here we go.
So they listed the top 32 receiving corps, including tight ends, okay, in the NFL. If you had to guess who's the number one... No. Who's number one? Come on, you know.
Cleveland.
No, it's literally not Cleveland.
Is it Cleveland?
Say Cleveland one more time, dog. I want an honest answer.
I thought Cleveland.
Not Kansas City,
Cleveland. No. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., and
David Njoku.
Yeah,
I think they include running back too. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. No, you're right. You're right.
I was
You're
going to say.
right. How about that?
Kansas City's not even in the top 5 for me.
Tyreek Hill alone. So Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce.
Okay, I forgot about Kelce.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and tell me that.
I forgot about Kelce.
Anyway, so
I was literally focused on Tyreek Hill and Watkins. I forgot about.
Bro, I need you to understand.
All right, here we go.
I don't think you're ready, dog. We'll just go to the top because we'll start at
I guess the only argument you can have for that Cleveland receiving core is they haven't actually played a game yet.
Yeah, that's a good argument.
But even then, that still puts Kansas City at number 1.
Yeah, sure. Pro Football Focus has the Philadelphia Eagles as the number 1 receiving core in the NFL.
Why? Because Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey?
Sure. He's
and Nelson
decent.
Aguilar?
Yeah. And their tight end, Zach Ertz, is good. And their running back, Jordan Howard's good.
I wouldn't put them above...
I wouldn't put them above anybody.
Kansas City.
How about number 2?
Not with Mr. Bazooka Arm.
Yeah,
Kansas City.
Skip Bayless.
Hold on, time out. You want to hear how disconnected I am?
Yeah.
I did not realize Madden came out Friday.
Yeah, me either.
I was walking through Walmart, and I saw it, and I was like, huh. Well, they already have it out. That's weird. And then it said, Patrick Mahomes was looking at me, and it said, hey, just so you know, it comes out August 2nd. I was like, huh. Today's August 2nd. That's
wow,
weird.
I really didn't
First
know
year
that.
of my life that I didn't know when Madden came out. Go ahead.
Same, to be honest with you. And I might get it eventually, maybe.
I don't
have a feel for it.
Nope.
Atlanta Falcons at number 2.
Why? Because Julio?
And Mohamed Sanu is good.
He's all right.
And Devonta Freeman's okay.
Well,
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, he was really good for the first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Didn't show up the second.
Yeah.
LA Rams with 3.
LA Rams are 3.
Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, and Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. Thank you.
Number 4. All the way to number 4 is Kansas City.
I wouldn't take those first 3 above him.
How? Not only... Okay, so yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is a big factor in why I would take the Kansas City.
Thank you. What do you mean? Carson Wentz maybe, but again, Nelson Aguilar isn't as good as Sammy Watkins. Deshaun Jackson is a washed up Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, washed up.
And
literally all Deshaun Jackson's ever done is just go deep.
Literally.
That's it.
And Tyreek Hill catch a screen. What do you mean? Yeah. And Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the game, so he's better than Zach Ertz.
Arguably. Depends on what you want out of your tight end.
Shut up, George Kittle. Anyway.
I'm not. I wasn't even talking about him. I'm just saying in general.
Bro, they are listing this on okay.
Plus Gronk's
number 5 is Houston Texans. DeAndre Hopkins is fantastic.
Sure, but then who you got after that?
Will Fuller has to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But he can't. So currently, Will Fuller's not that great.
I mean, yeah, of course, he went to Notre Dame. You like that silence?
Will Fuller is so... If he
fast.
Healthy,
okay, what else can he do? Because he can't catch a cold either.
Yes, he can.
No, he can't.
Don't talk about Madden.
He could catch an injury.
Cleveland Browns are all the way at number 6. How in the world Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Antonio Callaway, who had a fantastic rookie season, David Njoku, and then pick your running back out of the 3?
I think the only argument you have is because it's just on paper right now.
And you know what another positive for them is? Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
He's a damn good young quarterback. That's crazy.
The kid knows how to win. Say what you want. Reminds me a lot of Tim Tebow.
Anyway, the Bengals are not 10. Get out of it. Pro Football Focus, you stay in bullshit Skip Bayless says. You're always on some
And AJ Green's hurt. And he'll be out for the first 6 weeks.
Yeah,
so
not in the season. There? He might play early in the season. But anyway, the last one is... Okay.
So his first game action will be an actual regular season play?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were talking about him a little bit last week, but Dominique Foxworth, he had a list of top 5...
Former football player?
Yeah,
Foxworth?
Yeah. He had a list of the top 5 players he said have the most to prove coming into this season.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable, right?
Unless the list is stupid.
Would you... here's my question. Would you put a rookie on that list anywhere? A rookie. Never played a down in the NFL.
I mean, no, because it's a given you have something to prove.
Sure. Well, yeah, but also, compared to people like Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell...
Eli Manning?
Eli Manning wasn't on his list. He had Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Melvin Gordon maybe, or Zeke, one of those 2.
Melvin Gordon's not even going to play.
Right. But he had number 1? Kyler Murray.
How would you put a rookie on? I guess to say, are you worth being taken number 1?
Not even that. He was like, the size. Can Kyler Murray prove that a small quarterback in this offense can work in the NFL? And, dude, he's a rookie.
Not only is he a rookie... But
Eli Manning should have been on your list.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott gets paid $35 million, Dak Prescott should be on your list.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz should be on your list. Nick Foles should be on your list.
Anybody that got paid this offseason, Mike Thomas should be on that list. Are you worth $100 million?
Right. How are you going to put a rookie who's never done... Yeah. No, fuck that.
Because
give him a year first.
Because rookies already have something to prove.
Well, right.
They belong there. They don't have...
special stipulations.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger could have been at the top of your list. He ran away a top 5 running back and a top 3 wide receiver. He ran them off his team. If they don't do well, it's Ben Roethlisberger's fault. He has more to prove than anybody else.
Right.
Eli Manning needs to prove he can still play quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. So angry. Anyway,
Definitely Eli Manning.
There might still be more salt.
I didn't even think about Ben Roethlisberger.
There might be more salt. But that's the end of our bullshit Skip Bayless says. I hope you enjoyed it. I got to get a tune, man.
We do got to get a tune.
So, I want to talk about something cool, something I find positive. So, Dak Prescott, his rookie year, he's drafted 4th round pick, I apologize. Not 4th overall. That was Zeke. Anyway, he was drafted in the 4th round. You know, they don't get paid a lot of money.
No.
Some company called, and they wanted Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones in a commercial.
Okay.
So Dak calls Jerry Jones and says, look, I don't feel comfortable being in a commercial with you. I'm a 4th round quarterback. I'm on the bench behind Tony Romo. I don't want to be in the commercial. Don't put me in it. And Jerry Jones is like, you know what? Nah. You need the money. You be in the commercial. I'll take myself out of it. Like, that's super cool to me.
Yeah.
That's stand up, recognizing your place, wanting to put in the time before you get accolades. Good for you, Dak Prescott.
I like the Dak Prescott, that he came out.
That's cool to me.
Yeah, well, then class act from Jerry Jones. From
letting him get paid. Yeah. Like, that's all around, that made me feel good. The Giants, okay? They don't have Odell Beckham.
Right. Sterling Shepard's their number one wide
Sterling
receiver.
Shepard got hurt, broke his thumb. Golden Tate got suspended for taking a fertility drug, and their third.
So he's trying to have kids.
Yes. Corey Coleman tore his ACL. They have no more receivers.
Yeah, now their wide receiver core is going to be cursed.
They're going to throw everything to Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is going to have to throw it to himself because Eli can't do it. Anyway, that happened last week. I just forgot to mention it last week. So poor Giants wide receivers, bad time.
So can we talk about some baseball real quick?
Yeah, we can't actually. One of my topics is baseball.
Is it the Astros trade?
It is the Astros trade.
They got Greinke.
So the Astros traded and got Zach Greinke. So now they have 3 legitimate ace pitchers.
You got Verlander. Can't remember that second guy.
I had it.
Yeah, I
had it in my head.
Garrett Cole.
Thank you. And Zach Greinke.
Zach Greinke. In baseball, you can get away with a 3-man rotation.
Yeah.
So that literally might be it.
That might be all they need.
So then you put your other 2 starters in your bullpen. Ew.
That's so crazy, dog.
Ew. And you can have a bigger bullpen in the playoffs.
It's like
I'm glad you want to talk about baseball.
You guys, and if you don't watch baseball, you might not understand, and I don't watch baseball, but I get it. So in a baseball series, they play every other day, correct?
Yeah.
And pitchers go on 2 days rest in the playoffs. So legitimately, they only need 3 starters.
Yep.
They have 3, not starting pitchers, aces.
Aces.
Which means they can go 7 innings, complete game. They can shut them out.
That means you can get to the World Series and your bullpen is fresh.
Like, that's gross.
Like, I haven't pitched since the regular season and it's fresh.
Who in the world decided it was okay to let them do that?
Baseball, man, it's crazy.
Hey, did you know Zach Greinke had a no-trade clause?
No, I didn't know that.
For 1 team.
Yankees?
Yep. He refused.
Yeah, I know that he refused because he doesn't want the... New York's not for everybody.
Do you know a lot about him?
Greinke?
Yeah.
No.
So I read an article about him a couple years ago because he came into the MLB as this, like, phenom almost.
Yeah.
He has such control. Like, he's not a hard thrower of the baseball. Like, he's not going to hit 100 miles an hour.
No, he's kind of like Greg Maddux.
Right.
Where he wants to go, that's where he's going.
But his stuff, man, he's got some wicked pitches. And so, you know, he had fallen down in his career a lot, or like he wasn't as good as he was anymore. You know, he'd been in the league a few years. He was struggling, and so they were interviewing him, and he was talking about his anxiety and the pressure he feels from the media to be this great. And he was saying how baseball's always come so easy to him. Like, he's like a prodigy almost. Like, he's just good at baseball.
Yeah, he never had to try.
But with the media scrutiny and all that stuff, he got down on the dumps in himself and stuff. And so he has a no-trade clause because he doesn't want to play in that New York stress and the media and stuff.
Yeah, not everyone can put the pinstripes on, man. It's really... Like, look at all the great pitchers that tried to go there. Randy Johnson, he was not great for New York.
Nope.
Just because if you're a private person, going to the Yankees is not something you should ever do.
Nope.
Because you are under a super microscope.
Oh, yeah. It's probably the hottest media in the world outside of... I mean, this side of L.A., really.
Yeah, so I get it. I get the anxiety and all that. The pressure with being a Yankee,
it just makes that tenfold. Yeah. So here's one for you. Speaking of Tom Brady,
I feel like we talk about him a lot.
Because he's easy to talk about.
He's like LeBron.
Yeah, but he's not as good as LeBron.
Well, he's got more championships.
Talent.
He's got more championships. Reverse Tom Brady's record in the Super Bowl.
Hey, so anyway, Tom Brady said at age 42, he just his birthday I think is today actually.
Or yesterday or something like that. Yeah.
One of two. Happy birthday, Tom.
No.
Retire.
No.
Anyway, don't kiss your son on the mouth, you nasty.
Yeah, and for so long.
it's really uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, right. So he came out and said that he's improved his throwing power, his throwing distance, and his 40 time at age 42.
With or without steroids?
No, without. He eats a lot of avocado toast.
I will say one thing. Have you seen his diet? How strict he is?
Of course.
You have to be when you're that old.
Yeah.
Your body has to be in peak condition to check down all game.
He also said he put on about 5 pounds of muscle to help take hits better.
Speaking of muscle, did you see Trae Young put 12 on?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's real good. If you hear any small coos, that is squished.
Our third co-host.
We added a third star. Someone
probably the biggest star of all.
She will be. Her eyes are giant. Anyway, enough of the squish portion. Shh. Yes, baby, I know. You can talk to the podcast guests while Corey and I talk to them. So Tom Brady's going to be better this year than he ever has been.
Whatever. What, he's going to check down twice as much? He's going to have 2 footballs and check them down twice?
Check the footballs at the same time. So, Carmelo Anthony, did you see his interview?
I saw that he had an interview, but I didn't watch it because it's Carmelo. I don't care.
Okay, so I watched a lot of it. And
Proud of you. You do your job.
Well, I like... He was talking to Stephen A., so... She agrees with the Carmelo Anthony was talking to Stephen A. Smith. That's what she's saying. So Stephen A. was asking him, a bunch of questions. How do you feel about where you've been? And people were talking about how he wants a farewell tour. He says, I didn't say anything like that. I don't want a farewell tour. I'm just trying to play basketball.
Which I agree. I think at this point you don't deserve a farewell tour.
Which is a little uncomfortable for me because 2 days ago, Stephen A. said he doesn't deserve a farewell tour. Farewell tours are reserved for champions, and he's not a champion.
He's not, and he doesn't deserve one.
That's a bit harsh to me, but
he doesn't deserve one. He's one of the most overrated players in basketball history.
He was on our list. I'm well aware. So anyway, one of the things that he said that caught me a little bit off guard was he said, I've never had the teams that LeBron and D-Wade have had, so that's why I didn't win.
Didn't he have an opportunity to go to...
He went to the Western Conference Finals against Kobe Bryant. In 2009, oh, he lost. Shocker there.
Why did he lose?
Because he wasn't very good.
No, it's because the power of the Mamba.
It had nothing to do with the Mamba.
Does Carmelo have a nickname? Is it Mello?
Mello is his nickname, my friend.
Hoodie Mello. They should let that man play in a hoodie.
Have you ever seen Hoodie Mello practice, folks? He's really damn good. Okay, so I went and looked up that roster. The roster he had on the Western Conference Finals team in 2009, 2010. Allen Iverson, Chauncey Billups, Carmelo Anthony, Nene, Kenyon Martin, J.R. Smith, Chris Anderson, young Birdman, Juwan Howard. He's not great. But anyway.
He's not good at all.
No, he's pretty terrible. But anyway, so he had 6 players scoring double. He had 7 players scoring double figures for that team
for that season.
LeBron, in the same season, it was LeBron James, Mo Williams, Delonte West, Anderson Varejao, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Boobie Gibson, and Ben Wallace were his top 7.
I forgot him and Ben Wallace played together.
Can you tell me how many players LeBron had scoring double figures?
1.
4. LeBron, including LeBron.
Okay.
LeBron scored 28.4. The next closest guy was
12.
17.
Yeah, okay.
So
was it Mo?
It was Mo Williams. So here's the thing. Allen Iverson scored 18. Chauncey Billups put up 17, basically 18. Melo put up 23. Nene put up 15. J.R. Smith put up 15. Kenyon Martin put up 12. Get out of here. So just that team alone is better than any team LeBron had in Cleveland before he left.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, if you take out the Miami super team, you're right. I'm sorry. You didn't have a big 3.
That's because nobody wanted to go play with Carmelo.
Did you, according to Carmelo...
Amari Stoudemire, who arguably is one of the most overpaid players of all time.
Carmelo said in 2014 he almost went to Chicago to play with Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler.
Now, that would have been a good pairing.
Nah.
That would have been the only time he was good in New York.
But that team isn't beating LeBron.
No, but it would have been the best team he was ever a part of.
I agree.
And maybe Derrick Rose never gets hurt.
No, because maybe. But he also claims that he was supposed to be the third member of the Big Three and not Chris Bosh.
That's what I've heard. But he didn't want to go to New York, or didn't want to go to Miami.
He didn't want to go to Miami. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to go to Miami?
Because they weren't going to pay him a full max. Because LeBron and D-Wade
Somebody
both
has to take a...
All three of them took discounts.
Yeah. Oh, and he didn't want to take one?
Right. That's why he went to New York.
I mean, get paid, but don't cry about it later.
He also signed the first extension he signed in Denver was like 5 years, $96 million or something. It was the richest extension at the time. And he told Stephen A. Smith back then, he's like, look, I can't not take that much money. Like, you know where I came from?
Right.
I got to get paid.
Right.
So, yeah, okay, I respect that. But I don't think he can... Now, I agree if you look at the Heat teams and maybe the Cleveland... But, like, the Cleveland team without Kyrie is not as good as, like, that
team, the one that won the championship was the best Cleveland team that's ever been.
Correct.
So,
and
yeah,
even
sure.
then, they were top heavy as all hell. LeBron
yeah, they didn't have a bench.
Kyrie and
They had Matthew Dellavedova coming off the bench.
Like, I agree to a certain point, but for LeBron's first 7 years in the NBA or more, Carmelo Anthony always had the better team, and Dwayne Wade only had a better team when Shaq was there. And when Shaq left, they weren't really doing all that.
They were scraping by in the East.
Right, and Carmelo Anthony had chances in the West, but because Carmelo Anthony's a bum, they didn't go anywhere.
Right.
Literally, Chauncey Billups said when Carmelo Anthony was younger, 30 points in a loss, he was chill, he was happy. But if he scored 20 points in a win, he was unhappy. He was all about scoring, and that's not how you play the game. I mean, it's how you win games. But
no, that's how players that don't win championships play.
Right, and Carmelo Anthony not winning any championships, my friend. One more thing. So the Browns, it's training camp. It sucks. A couple Browns players got into a fight.
Okay.
Freddie Kitchens made him run gassers.
Really?
Yep, sideline to sideline. I have wondered for my entire life, why don't NFL players run sprints like we do in high school? Why?
I don't know.
So you can punish them by taking money, and that might hurt a lot, but when you're multimillionaires, what's a $20,000 fine? Do you know what I don't want to do when I'm a professional? Is run freaking sprints. Right, Squish doesn't want to run sprints either. So
well, probably because she can't walk yet.
I mean, yeah, but she might want to run someday.
If you pull out a whistle and if you start blowing it at her, I don't think that's going to go well for you.
I think she'll just cry because it'll scare her. But
yeah, I never understood that either. Like, taking money away from a millionaire, yeah, they're not even going to see that in their bank account.
I think the richest fine in NFL history is $500,000, and that's what they fined Bill Belichick for the Spygate.
But that was more to him, though. Because...
Well, right, and I think the team got fined like a couple million, and no players got fined. But what I'm saying is like, it's when you're at that level, you think you're above that shit.
Yeah.
And for your coach to be like, no, you're going to run gassers. They literally were having him run sideline to sideline. I was like, that's awesome. And on Undisputed, which is Skip Bayless' stupid-ass show, they were like, he was like, well, that's a rough way to introduce yourself as a head coach. And
no, it's not.
I think that's awesome.
It's saying that you're not... Well, I like Mike Golick Jr. I don't remember what... Not Mike Golick Jr. Mike Golick had an interview once where he was talking about... I can't remember what coach it was. It was a legendary coach.
For Notre Dame?
No.
Oh.
When he was in the NFL. And they were talking about him, about how when he played... He had a coach that would let them fight.
Yeah. And
then after they got done fighting, then they had to keep going.
Run?
No, they had to keep practicing. Like,
oh,
you're done fighting? All right, good. They'll get back in there right away. Like, yeah, sure, you can fight all you want to, but you're going to keep doing what you want to do.
Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Me. Like, of course they should be punished for doing something wrong. And if running is a way to get through them and get their attention, then they need to run.
Yeah, because hitting their wallets isn't going to.
And what are you going to do? Find two guys who aren't going to be on the team anymore? He's showing he's in charge.
He's galvanizing. He's getting.
And also,
together.
when you see people fight, you're going to probably tell them to knock it the fuck off because I don't want to run gassers anymore.
Right. Come on, man.
Like, for real. What is... Anyway, I apologize. My daughter's just being super cute. Anyway, so the other thing that they were bitching about was Baker Mayfield was yelling at Jarvis Landry and Odell because during a scramble drill, I say scramble drill, it was an offensive practice, he was rolling out and they didn't break off their routes and come back to the quarterback. They kept running their routes. And he got sacked. And he was like, no, he was cussing him out and he was yelling at him. He's like, look, when I'm scrambling, you need to come back to the ball. You need to break off your routes, yada, yada. He was being a leader. And for some reason, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp didn't think that was the way to handle it. Shannon Sharp said, these are grown men. You need to watch how you talk to them and stuff like that.
You're a quarterback. You want your quarterback to take charge, yeah?
Right. And
Who's your leader on the field?
It's your quarterback.
Okay.
So I agree. Like, for example, when I was, now granted, high school is a little bit different than the NFL. They're not grown men. I get it. My coach said, when the quarterback goes to the huddle, it's his huddle. Everybody stops talking. And if you're talking, take care of it. That's your job as the quarterback. And I remember one time, I think it was our left guard. He was a fantastic lineman, all-state wrestler. He's a fantastic football player. He was talking to one of the other linemen in the huddle while the quarterback was trying to call a play. He literally grabbed his face mask, pulled his head down, told him to shut the hell up. I'm trying to call a play. And you know what didn't happen? Nobody talked in the huddle anymore. Because we need to be able to hear what's going on. So
it's more important than whatever conversation you're having.
Right. And so Baker Mayfield I think that's what Odell and Jarvis Landry need. They're big personalities. So
Odell definitely needs a strong quarterback.
Right. So Baker's not going to let Odell walk all over him and say shit in
because
the media.
If you let Odell be Odell, he's going to... I think that's why Randy Moss worked in New England. Because he had people that would literally...
not take his shit.
Yeah, like Bill Belichick wasn't going to put up with your shit.
Never. And so for me personally, I love that. Good for you, Baker Mayfield. Let him know that you got to...
You have those strong personalities. You need to rein them in.
And what Baker said was, he's like, communication is the key. The good teams do it, and we need to make sure that we're communicating, and we can't let the little things slide now, because later we're going to let them slide. Yeah, she agrees. She's not going to let that slide. I'll tell you that right now.
I agree. I like it. Be firm.
Yeah.
Be firm. As a quarterback, if your quarterback tells you to shut the hell up, you shut the hell up.
You shut up and you listen. And if he's mad because you didn't come back on a scramble drill, you say, sorry, I'll get it next time. Oh, really? Are you gonna break your route off when Daddy tells you to? That's right. Okay, so the last thing is the Ravens. People are always harping about Lamar Jackson's throwing ability, and how if he can unlock his throwing ability, then there'll be a legitimate team and all this stuff. You know, last year he was second in completion percentage and QBR among the rookie quarterbacks behind Baker Mayfield.
Oh, they need to worry less about his throwing ability and more about the fact that they keep calling so many quarterback design runs.
Well, right, and
it's not he runs the ball when they tell him to run the ball.
And it's true. A lot of his runs, almost every run last year was designed.
Yeah.
He didn't scramble that much, and
no, for a prototype scramble, because he looks like a scrambling quarterback.
Right.
He stays in the pocket pretty well.
And now granted, I know it's college and it's different, but if you look at his college tape, there's plays of him evading the pass rush, stepping up and throwing the ball accurately downfield.
Which is what you want in a quarterback.
And if you look at, so I was reading this article, and like people like Sam Darnold completed 55% of his passes, Josh Allen completed 50% of his passes, like he was at 58.6 or something, like 2 points behind Baker Mayfield. He threw less interceptions than most of them. He threw more touchdowns than a lot of them.
He led his team to the playoffs.
He led his team to the playoffs.
The Ravens played amazingly well after he took over.
6-1, and their loss was like to the Patriots or something. Like, yeah, they're like so. And so this article I was reading put Lamar Jackson's rookie season, his 7 starts against 32. Like other quarterbacks over the last 10 years in their starts, right? People like Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger. He was exactly middle of the road compared to people like, I think he was ahead of Matt Ryan, he was ahead of Eli, like he was ahead of a lot of guys, and people were talking about he can't throw. Yes, he can. Did he miss some easy throws? Yeah, but
he's a rookie quarterback.
And I've seen Tom Brady miss easy throws. I've seen Tom Brady miss easy catches. Hey-oh! That's a Super Bowl reference if you didn't know that. Anyway.
Dude, he was wide open. Right? Like, even if you play quarterback, you should have brought that down.
He was wide open, but I don't think it was a good throw, to be totally honest with you.
Speed up.
He can.
He was running a full fucking gallop.
Well, Tom Brady has never galloped a day in his life. Yeah. Have you ever seen the Combine 40?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I timed it with a sundial. Anyway, so all this talk about Lamar Jackson needs to. I mean, yeah, he needs to improve. Every rookie player needs to improve, except maybe Saquon, and even he needs to improve because his offensive line's gonna be worse. Anyway, so
I went out and got that guard from the Browns. A guard, just run behind.
Just the one guard.
Why not? That's what the Colts do.
Well,
see that? Run behind him.
That kid is a monster.
Oh, he's going to be arguably already one of the best guards in the league.
Oh, yeah.
1 year.
He's amazing. Quentin Nelson, where'd he go to school, fella?
Yeah, okay. One out of every 1,000
Mike McGlinchey,
kids
your starting right tackle.
What did he do last year?
He played fine.
He was all right. He wasn't.
If your quarterback is standing in the freaking pocket.
All right, you're right.
Hey, Zach Martin, another great offensive lineman.
We were literally a step away from having Jimmy G all year.
Tell me more about Jimmy Doug. His name is Jimmy Garoppolo. Get out of here. It's better than Mitch Trubisky.
I was going to say, you want to go there? Anyway, I will go there about Mitch.
Our third co-host is getting a little sleepy. She's rubbing her eyes. So, can you tell them good night?
Nope.
She's smiling, but she can't translate that into sound. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week. That's it for episode 9. Episode 10. Should we do something special for episode 10?
I mean, it's special listening to us regardless. So.
Well, I mean, you could say that, but I was thinking we should talk about it, because like last week's podcast, I was listening.
Have a topic for once?
I mean, no, I have topics all the time. We just
talk
for 40 minutes about Skip Bayless.
Like a designated topic, not
that we cover for one.
Skip Bayless. No, I don't think we could have a topic where
we could have a main topic and then like talk about that for like a chunk.
We haven't done that for a couple episodes.
We haven't done that in a long time. So I was thinking. So last week I was listening to the episode back and I talked about like 3 or 4 different movies that I hated.
You want to talk about movies that we hate?
I kind of think so.
Nobody has that much time.
But we can limit it to like 5 or something.
Because I hate a lot of movies.
You hate every movie.
Not every movie. I like
every movie.
The Dark Knight's good.
The Dark Knight. How did you feel about the first one?
The Batman Begins?
Yeah. And the third one? Did you like the third one?
It had its moments.
It did have its moments. Anyway.
That fight when Batman comes back and fights Bane. Come on. I broke you. That's impossible. And he's like, well, I'm Batman.
Anyway, she's finally saying her goodbyes.
Later, noobs.
So that sounds like maybe we'll talk about it this week. Maybe we'll have something special. If we don't, you'll get another long segment of bullshit Skip Bayless says. You'll get random sports topics.
What are we going to do when he retires? I'm sure some other dumb idiot will
Brian Howlands hopefully will get on TV. That dude's an idiot. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good week, and we'll talk to you later.
Later.